Hey, I want to encourage you. Sometimes it don't happen the way you expected it to happen. But if you keep on working at it, guess what? It will happen in its right time. If you think about it, a lot of us, hey, we may feel like, man, I've been doing this way too long. When am I going to get a break? And sometimes we want to give up on the fact that, man, this is something I believe is going to happen, but I'm just not seeing it happen fast enough. And so I want to tell you about somebody who I believe is a prime example. If you just keep on giving your best, things will happen, not on your time, but on God's time. I had a guy named Moses. Moses was raised up in the palace, in a good place. But at some point in his life, around 40, he ended up getting in some major trouble. He took the life of someone. He had to flee for his life. Now, at this point in time, I'm pretty sure he felt like, man, my life is over, man. I don't have a second chance of fulfilling something great. I lost everything. It wasn't a dark moment. But even though he had to live in the desert for 40 years, it wasn't wasted time. It was preparation time because he learned some gifts and talents and skills that he would later on be able to use in the right time. And so don't think because you can't use these gifts and talents now that it'll be wasted. Nah, you'll be surprised of what you can do with what you've learned and that only you can do it. And so just keep on being faithful in those times. And so when God puts you in the place that he called you to, now you can show up because you got what it takes to win. And so when he was called to come back to face the things that he had to run from, he was able to now stand up with confidence. Because see, when he was scared to go back there because he wasn't sure what was going to face. He wasn't sure if he was going to have to face the fact that he killed someone earlier time. He wasn't sure of if he was going to be accepted. Even Pharaoh was going to kill him or what was the situation. But he came back and he faced it anyway. And I challenge you, don't run from your greatest challenge. Face it and realize, hey, if it's to be, it's up to me. Look at this thing as an opportunity for you to learn. Not that it's going to destroy you, but it's going to challenge you to grow. And so long as you're up for the challenge of life, guess what? You can become better because you're not running, you're not trying to put it off and you're not making excuses, but you are facing what you have to face in order to become better. And so the first thing I want to tell you about, I want you to identify that even though you had a detour, it did not happen the way you expected, does not mean you are defeated. A detour does not mean it's a defeat. It just takes you down a different path to get to your destination. So as long as you know that you're going to reach your goal, maybe a different way, maybe not as fast as you wanted to have happen, yes, but you're going to do whatever it takes to follow those detours. To follow that, make that left, make that right, whatever that is. You're going to do what it takes to do your part, then you will definitely get to your place in this right time. So don't get discouraged about it, but be encouraged that you're still in the fight. You're still in the game. Even though you may be down a little bit, it's not over. It's still an opportunity for you to win. And so now we have that out the way. Second thing we got is God's timing is perfect timing. Think about it. Sometimes when we just jump out there too fast, life will smack us and we have to fall back. But when we are patient and we just stay there practicing, doing what we call to do on the smaller scale, when we are promoted to that place of greatness, we then can elevate and bring our best forward. But we can't be rushed to get to that place tomorrow because we may not be ready for that increase. And so don't ever want to be somewhere where you can't sustain there, where you get somewhere where now you're like, man, I done bit off more than I can chew. Nah, be okay with God's timing. Just be faithful of that small thing until God say, nah, I want to reward you with more. And so long as you do that, you'll be okay because it's a headache, it's pressure that's unnecessary when we want to take on more than we can handle. Some can handle 5, some can handle 10, some may handle 50 or 100. But if you've been called to 2 or 3, be okay with that. Because what you don't want to do is juggle too much, too fast, and end up dropping it all. So thirdly, now we want to move into that sweet spot. Just know your greatest victories come after your greatest struggles. So after you have to do those reps, that's like working out. In order to gain muscle, you have to tear the muscle. You have to put pressure on that muscle. You have to work it hard. And so sometimes in life, you have to be tried on so many different levels that don't always feel good, but it's gonna always work out for your good. And so you have to be okay that it don't feel good now, so it can actually promote you and push you somewhere later on. Because I've heard like this: I don't wish to things to be smaller, I want to become bigger. In order to become bigger, you have to do things that's gonna grow you. You're gonna have to do things that's gonna push you to move you to those higher heights. Hey, what do you tell yourself when it seems like you're having a troublesome day? It seems like everything is going wrong that would and could, and even the things that you did not think was gonna happen is happening. Do you get upset about life, or do you get encouraged that now you find a way to make this thing better and work for you? That's what we want to talk about, because I've had a chance to read a book that I can truly say I'm so pleased that I took the time to read this one, because it makes a difference in my outcome in so many different ways. Because I heard about this book many years ago, but I finally took the time to dig in, and I'm glad I did, because guess what? It's something that I use on a regular basis. And so not when things are going good for you, but when things sometimes don't go as planned, but what do you do to make those things work for you in your favor? And that's the thing I got from this book. And the name of the book that I'm talking about is The Power of Positive Thinking. And so this book is by Norman Vincent Peale. And this is a really good short read. The first thing this book really digs deep in is the mindset matters. So you have to really protect your mind. You can't just allow anybody to speak into your life. You can't allow everything that you allow come out. You really have to speak back to yourself. And so yes, I don't mind somebody talking about me. I'm not gonna allow them to have the time to talk to me. And so yes, you can say what you want to on social media, you can say what you want to others, but if you start talking the way I do not wish, guess what? It was great seeing you, and I got to keep going. Alright, so button they on social media say block. That's the button I'm gonna push, because I realize that I have to protect my mind. Now, I can't let everybody get in, because that's gonna hinder me from being my best version of myself by allowing other things to control the way I think. It controls how I respond, because if my mind's not thinking right, my actions won't line up to where I want to go. And so that's the first thing. You got to make sure you're thinking properly, in the right perspective, because yes, everything may not always go as planned, but you have to think right and take the time to clear your thinking, to clear your plate, so now you can focus on what matters the most. So now that's so important, of thinking in the right perspective. Next thing you got to do is challenge the opportunity. Look at this thing that you're facing. Instead of being a problem, it's an opportunity for me to move forward. So it's all about your perspective of how you see this thing that you're facing. Just because it may not look like something I want to face does not give you an excuse to give up on it, or look at it in a negative versus a positive. So looking at it as an opportunity versus a challenge, or looking at it as being a problem, give you a better chance at winning when you look at it in the right position. Put it in the right place of saying, hey, it's not something that's meant to take me out of the game, but it's something to prepare me, to build me up to win the game. So it's all about your perspective of looking at this as being an opportunity to win. And so like if you went and worked out, working out sometimes some people look like, oh man, it's the worst feeling ever. But you got to look at the end result. By me committing to this process of doing this work, it's gonna help me to get to a destination that I can look forward to. So do the hard work now to get to the easier and to the destination that's gonna be pleasing in the future. So it's all about your perspective of how you see this opportunity, whether if you're gonna dread it, or you're gonna be encouraged to go through it to get to the other side. So once you have been accepted to the opportunity that awaits you, the third thing we must do now is cultivate positivity. That's gotta be the next final thing we have to do. You got to allow your light to so shine that people will see your good work and glorify your Father which is in heaven. What are you saying there? Meaning that if people see the positive of man, it looks like it's hurting. But I'm positive about it Not saying you gotta go around and not ever tell people, hey, I'm having a tough day today. But instead of saying, oh man, life is to beat me up, you just all in the dump about it. Yeah, man, hey, I don't like what I'm going through, but this is something that I'm gonna win no matter what it looks like. It could be something that, hey, you may not have the right answer today, but it's all about how you speak about it. You may not have everything you need, but guess what? You are in this situation. So guess what you have to tell yourself? It's gonna be all right. I don't like the hand I got dealt. The same thing I remember Paul saying, I fought the good fight. He ain't say he won every fight. He might got some lumps on his head. But I fought the good fight and I finished my fight. So fight the fight that you've been given. Knowing you will get persecuted, you will have some trials, you will have some things that you don't like, but keep fighting. Because there lies the answer to greatness. Because it sometimes may not even about you winning for yourself, but by you standing up for others. Consistency is the cheat code. I heard this from my guy David Shands. He said, if you want to cheat, this is the one thing you have to do. You have to be consistent. That let me out of my bubble. I was thinking he was going to give me something else. But that's so true. Because if you want greatness in your life, you can't just cheat your way by somebody giving you that. No, you have to stay in the game, practice until you get there. Think about Kobe. When I think about Kobe Bryant, what separated him from the rest, he was willing to know that he wasn't the greatest when he started. But he found out who was doing the game better than he. And guess what he did? He emulated that. He found the ones, even before he got to the pros, who was actually higher ranked than him, and just, hey, learn about their game and learn how he can play his game to beat their game, and he started checking it off. He went from 65 down to 50, down to 30, 35, and all the levels till he became #1 ranked at the high school level. And then once he got into the pros, he found and got next to those greats like Reggie Millers and Michael Jordan and everybody else who was perfecting their game, and started studying them until he learned how to perfect what they do and use that in his arsenal to beat them. And that's what he did, and that's why he's known as the Mamba, because he was relentless to be the best. And so he stayed in the game. He learned the game until one day he did what? He mastered the game. And that's what we have to be willing to do. We have to stay in the lab long enough until we become strong enough to be who we know we should be. It may not look like it right now, but if you stay consistent at doing what you know you can do, you would then move from being every other day, sometime maybe, to being creating a habit, creating a routine that you stay consistent. Just like you walk, just like you breathe, just like you tie your shoes. You want to be consistent at doing what you know you called to do. Until people say, man, they know you as that thing. And so I was listening to an interview by Master P. Who's that? How you do that there?
How you do that there? Shreveport, Mississippi. How you do that there? We know lemon soldiers. I thought I told you. We know lemon soldiers. I thought I told you.
And he was saying in this interview that his professor asked the question, what does McDonald's sell? And he responded, they sell hamburgers. And his professor said, no, they don't. They sell consistency. And he went on to say, their burgers taste the same no matter where you go. Their fries taste the same no matter if you buy it in your state or another country. Everything is the same. They market the same. Everything is consistent across the board. And if you want to have something that people recognize in a business, it has to be the same no matter where you go. And so that's exactly what he did. He created a brand that was consistent. He said, I made sure I released a song or an album every week. He put his marketing out in all everywhere. He was consistent across the board. And so that was his journey to his success. He wasn't known as the best rapper, but he was consistent, and that separated him from the pack. And so that's the same thing I want to talk about. The first thing I want to drop on you, power of the drip. Imagine, if you may, you have a faucet that's dripping. Not only that, it's in a tub. It's dripping in a tub, and the tub has a clogged drain. And so the drips keep on dripping until it fills up the tub, and it keep on dripping till it floods the room. and it keeps on dripping till it floods the house. It did not happen right away, but that constant drip, it eventually overtook an area. And that's the same thing you have to do with your goal. It may not happen right away, so don't even try to take a big goal all at once. Do it in phases and stages and give yourself time to accomplish that. And so if you have a huge goal, hey, find out what's the first thing I need to do. And okay, once I accomplish this first thing, let me do this next thing, like building a house. The first thing you do is build a foundation, or you get the plumbing in first. Then you do the foundation. Then you do the next phase, putting out the framing. And you just keep on doing step after step, but you cannot do it all at once because you have to allow the first step to take its course. And that's what you have to do in life. So whatever it is, just be okay with the process of getting to your destination. Hey, I want to thank you for always rocking with us. And I have something I want to give to you because we want to make sure that we empower and inspire you to be great. So I just released an ebook, and this ebook is really going to help in so many different areas in life, especially when you find yourself stuck, not knowing which way to go. This ebook has been designed to help you through those moments. So please check out the ebook that's here in the description below. And hey, let it help you to be great. Thank you. So that's the point I want to talk about now, is to be okay with the progress to perfection. So perfection does not come right away, but you have to be okay with the progress to get you to the place of perfection. And so long as you stay consistent at learning, so don't look at it as a failure, but look at it as a lesson. So what can I learn from this lesson that's going to help me be better the next time? So take the lumps, but know there's a part of your process to get you to where you're going. And so once you realize it's going to happen in its right time, be okay, and then celebrate your progress. Don't wait till you get to your destination to say, pat yourself on the back. Say, hey man, I'm getting better at this. It doesn't have to mean that you have to, hey, go celebrate like it's your birthday. But no, just take a little small celebration. Say, be happy with the progress that you're seeing that's happening. So now I gave you that, I want to give you a quick bonus, because this right here can actually be the glue to make everything else fit. What are you saying? I'm saying not only keeping it to yourself, but find those few people that's in your camp, because not everybody want to see you win, but you know you have some people that you can share a thing with, and they're going to cheer you on. They also going to be, hey, remember that thing you told me about? How's that coming? So when you share it with someone else, that'll open the door for them to hold you accountable, but also by you sharing it with somebody else, gonna probably hold you more accountable because you put it in the atmosphere. And not only do you tell them about the good things, but you tell them about your struggles. Say, hey, I need a little help to at least let me share with you some things that I'm dealing with. And hey, by me sharing it with you, either they may give you some encouragement, and also by telling that, then you can say, hey, by next week, I wanna come back with you with some solutions to the situation I'm dealing with. And so the main thing is you telling other people, so now you can have accountability. And the more you speak it in the atmosphere, the more you can be able to encourage yourself to keep pushing forward. And so that's going to help you, because words of affirmation will help you to reach your destination. So don't be worried about it's not looking the way it should be, but you say, I'm more than a conqueror through Christ Jesus who strengthened me. Yes, I can do all things. And so when you speak that kind word, even though it doesn't look like it right now, but you start speaking to yourself about who you're going to be and know who you are and whose you are, man, guess what? You can accomplish great feats because you stand motivated, because you're speaking the right words to speak life into your situation. And so now that I shared this information, I hope you got something that's going to keep you consistent to win your destination of where you're trying to aim and to go. And so if you like what you heard right here, check out this next video. I got something greater for you. Be great.